It's a new year, same podcast, allegedly. Going into 2024, we're going to continue to bring you new episodes every 2 weeks throughout the year. Side note, hopefully going to be having some merchandise that we'll be giving away in future episodes. Can't wait to show you guys when it gets here. But until then, hope you stick around, keep listening. And with that said, the one new face we'll be bringing out to you coming in 2024 will be our new backdrop of Allegedly a Podcast. So be ready. Same podcast, same people, but we're going to get better, more guests, more roundtables. Stay tuned, and we're going to have a great time, allegedly. Welcome to another episode of Allegedly a Podcast. I am Lucas, and today I'm joined by two of my close friends, Jonathan Bolus and Josh Cowden. I pronounced that right, correct?
Yes, you did.
Okay, good. I'm happy. I was very worried, and I didn't rehearse it beforehand. But today I have these two lovely gentlemen on here, and we're going to talk about coaching. Both these men have some experience coaching high school football. And with that, I'm going to pass off Josh. What's your experience coaching?
Well, to start, after my senior year at Rossford, I started doing summer ball for coaching baseball. So I have relative between JV, summer ball, and varsity in the baseball world. I have 12 years wrapped up in that, and I'm going in my 9th year of football between Cardinal Stretch and Rossford.
Nice, that's awesome. I was a lot of time around the young kids. I was going to say must be well experienced at this point with dealing with kids and their problems and or mouthiness.
It has evolved since I've graduated. You could tell the difference from when I started coaching to now.
Gotcha. And John, what is your resume of coaching?
I've been coaching for Eastwood football for 2 years, coming back for my third year. And then I'll be coaching track in the spring for the varsity level.
I was going to say, are you excited about doing I was going to say, I assume you did run track in high school.
I did. I was a 400 guy.
You 400 guy. You were a speedy guy?
No.
No,
I'm slow.
Okay. But that's exciting. Get to start coaching something else. Yep. Hopefully you'll maybe learn something from Josh here as we go through this episode. But again, very happy to have both of you on here and get to talk about coaching. And let's just start with the obvious question. Why? Why did you guys get into coaching? Like, obviously, you loved playing sports through high school, and because I would assume if you didn't like sports, you wouldn't be coaching. But Josh, what really got you into either wanting to be a coach or just got into coaching in general?
For starting off, it was just to be connected with the guys I played ball with. So starting with baseball, because I didn't coach football till further down the line. So it was like keeping that connection with the guys I played with, seeing how they were doing, how they were going to grow. Gotcha. And then as I switched over into the football area of coaching, it became, wow, I miss being on the field, and this is as close as I'm ever going to get anymore, because you can play 7-on-7 with your buddies and get in the league and all that, and you'll get the try-hards, and the guys just want to take you out, and just it's not the same as like being on the turf of tackle football. You get that adrenaline rush and the feeling back.
Absolutely. I was going to say, I played football in high school, and I can definitely relate with that. Yeah, being out on the field, like even after like you graduate and you go watch, even if you can stand on the sidelines and watch football, there's nothing compared to being out there and playing. John?
So, yeah, about 2 years ago, I reached out to my old high school coach, and, I just felt like I needed something more in my life other than just work. So, at first, it started out as a selfish reason why I started coaching. And so, yeah, I reached out to him and asked him if he had a spot on the team. And he said, yeah, we'll pay you and everything. I didn't even want to be paid. I just wanted to be out there. And then, so he brought me in, and he ended up stepping down. Yeah. And then the next year we got a new head coach, and he brought me back. So
I was going to say, I was going to bring that up too. I know, obviously, you started with because the head coach you came in under, that was your high school coach, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he was an assistant when I was in high school.
Gotcha. So how was that kind of transition going from, because as you've told me, it was kind of like an overhaul of coaching, and you were the only returning coach from that staff the year before.
Mm-hmm.
So how was kind of that transition? Because and Josh, I'm assuming you've had something a similar kind of thing, either taking a new job or going somewhere where you don't know as many people. But like how did you transition, like going from one coaching staff to another?
So my first year, we ran the same offense, same defense that I had been used to in high school. So, excuse me, I was really familiar with everything that they were doing for the most part, and they added new stuff in, and obviously, since I had been in high school. But the second year with the new head coach, it was a new defensive scheme, new offensive scheme entirely. So learning that was there was a big learning curve for me because all I knew was wing T from high school. So getting to learn the spread offense was really cool. It was a cool experience, but also sharing that experience with the guys on the field. Obviously, I don't entirely know.
And they don't entirely know,
and
so
they don't know.
You just
so we're learning together.
Well, that's good. So I was gonna say, Josh, is that something you can kind of relate to, or something you've gone through at some point?
I've been in the baseball world because I've went under 3 different head coaches for baseball. So I mean, it was transition of philosophies of this guy wants to steal bases, this guy likes to bunt and steal thing in high school. I mean, you just put the ball in play.
Yeah.
In high school, people are gonna make errors. It's high school baseball.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it was just different philosophies, and
Gotcha.
me and the last guy I got with, we butted heads over philosophies, and that's what pretty much ended my baseball thing, because philosophy thing.
Gotcha. I was just say,
just going back to why I, coached and why I continued coaching.
Yeah.
It really turned into something that I didn't expect. Like the relationship that I have with the guys. I would trade after the second year. It was a lot more enjoyable the second year because of that. And me, like you said, me being the only returning coach, I had that established relationship with them.
Some stability kind of for them, just kind of like, because I feel like it's a little bit of a shock if like you lose, you basically get rid of every coach there and they have no sense of like familiarity or anything like that. So that, I can see that. I was going to say that, and again, that's awesome because for people who don't know who are listening to this, me and Jon are roommates, so I know a little more about him and his coaching than I do about Josh. Before we go any farther, I just want to ask this question personally. Both of you coached against each other this past fall. Rossford against Eastwood. Eastwood ended up winning. Any comments about that game from either one of you? Because I was there and I watched it, and at first I thought this is going to be a real interesting game, and then by the end, Eastwood ran away with it. And can I get a comment from either one of you on that game? Josh looks like he has a comment.
By the time we played, we were already mishandled with injuries playing. I mean, we started 5 freshmen and 2 sophomores on defense. That's hard to do on the high school level and compete at a high level.
Gotcha. John?
Better luck next year.
How did I know he was going to say something?
Just wait. Just wait.
Sorry, I really wanted to ask that question. Because again, I got to be there and see both teams do their maybe not do their best, but try their hardest to try to win that game. And just Eastwood was making some big plays and ran away with it. Now we'll just go through just what's the best part of being coach and coaching in general. Open floor, whoever wants to go first on this one.
Yeah, so I kind of alluded to it earlier,
the camaraderie.
Where, it's, for me, it's the relationship with the guys and really getting them to reach their full potential. That's basically what it boils down to. I'm not much of a X's and O's kind of guy. I'd like to become that, with the experience. But right now, for me, it's just, letting them know they can come to me and the other coaches with anything outside of football as well,
Gotcha.
Football-wise and outside. So, it's that sort of thing for me.
Okay. So basically being the mentor and just okay. Josh?
Getting to know all the other coaches and all the different aspects of like their coaching you come to. Like
Yeah.
this roster of us just went to the OHSS or I can't even say the damn words right. OS or OHSSA
go.
championship games.
We got
Okay.
there.
So we went to Canton, and we had 9 of us that went, and we had a Airbnb. Went to all the championship games. I mean, we went to all the games, saw some great games, saw Liberty Center play and all this, and just
Yeah.
variety
Oh,
of
yeah.
coaches and stories you hear of people in their heydays, and
Yeah.
then coming back to the kid aspect, it's just seeing them grow as a person
Yeah.
after you're done coaching. See them go on to college and come back to you like, oh, we're running the same drills now as you were teaching us. Like, I'm not lying to you when we run these drills. This is
Yeah.
what we do. Like, I'm getting them from coaches. We go to clinics every year, spend hours watching film, and just got to believe. And they're like, we should have put more effort into the
Yeah.
weight room and all this. And they come back and tell you this after they're in college doing it, what we're telling you.
Yeah, no, some of the stuff you're saying, especially about the kids learning and everything like that, I can definitely say I've had some of those feelings too, where it's like you go back and you always feel like, obviously with age you get smarter and you're like, gosh, I wish I was smarter when I was younger. I could have been a way better player, been this and that. But yeah, no, that's awesome. Also, shout out to Liberty Center Tigers. They on winning state. That was awesome.
No, they didn't win.
They didn't? I thought they
lost by
won.
7 to Perry.
They lost to 7.
Perry
Well,
had a decathlon person at quarterback.
oh,
This
okay.
guy's like he's 17 and is a champion in the U.S. for a decathlon.
Jeez.
And
Okay.
they put him at quarterback for 2 plays and 2 touchdowns later.
Well, that'll do it. Well, they still made it very far. I know that's been a very long time since
Central
that
Catholic
town.
got the championship though.
Gotcha.
Sure did.
Oh, jeez.
After dropping a division.
Yeah, they're in our division. That's real fair.
Oh, jeez.
Whole nother topic.
I was gonna say, is there? Before I move to my next question, is there anything about maybe you don't have about the Ohio maybe high school like football? I know there's not like a federation or like, but I know teams drop in and out of divisions. Teams get in and out of conferences. Like, do you think there's anything like wrong with the system or anything that you think should be changed about this? I know that's kind of a more hardcore question. I'm not really around the high school kind of football scene other than watching my hometown and then watching obviously you guys and other friends who coach. Just thoughts on that?
I know a lot of people don't like the fact that private schools are part of the same leagues as public.
Yeah. Okay.
Just because they have access to basically what is recruiting.
Yeah.
So it ends up being pretty unfair as far as that goes. But I don't have too much experience with that sort of stuff. So.
Josh?
Totally agree. There should be a public and a
Private
split off.
Absolutely.
That's how. I don't care what division it is. Just because the access of funds is different to a public school to a private school, and you're getting tuition based to go to that school or having to pay your kid to go to that school, and this is just a public school. You pay your normal stuff.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. So we've talked about the good aspects of coaching. What do you think is the hardest or maybe the worst part of coaching?
So obviously it's a huge time commitment, and you don't always get paid what you maybe think you might. But that's not why you do it. You don't do it for the pay. I would do it for free, and I am doing it for free in the spring, but it's not what it's about. It's about the kids. Is what it boils down to. But it's just a big time commitment. It is what it is, but you know what you sign up for in advance. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I also agree with time commitment, but I'm also going to throw parents in there. Parents in football are a lot tougher to deal with than I had with parents in baseball. Because, I got a group of kids down at defensive linemen. I got 32 defensive linemen down there. And I only rotate in 6 to 7 on Friday night and trying to rotate in on our JV and all that. People are complaining about playing time. And it just becomes a whole nother level of like, well, he's at practice every day. I'm like, so is this guy, and so is that guy, and like I have him on rotation by series and trying to get everyone involved that we want to see at the varsity level. And same thing I tell my JV coaches.
So going along with that too, as far as track goes, it's more like black and white, because you have a measurement of how someone performs in a certain event, you know, like with the time or the distance that they throw, or the height that they jump. With football, it's not always that black and white who you should be playing.
Exactly.
And playing time is a huge thing, but in track, it's nice and easy, like this person can run this event at this meet because they run this time, it's so it's not always black and white. Like
gotcha. That. Okay. Yeah. I definitely can kind of feel that. I haven't really coached. I've been around watching my sisters grow up play mostly softball and some volleyball, and I definitely can understand where you're coming from parents, and that makes a lot of sense to me. How do you think so Josh has obviously been coaching longer, and John, I assume that you can probably say something to this. How have you you've obviously talked about going to the Ohio State Championships and kind of meeting people there. Do you feel like that's part of how you've bettered yourself as a coach? And if not, like how do you think you yourself have bettered yourself as a coach? Starting with you, Josh.
Well, at Rossford, we go to multiple different camps. Like we go to Livonia in Michigan. They have a big coaching clinic. Like last year, we sat on Jim Knowles and a whole bunch of other coaches that just showed up. We were there for 4 days. And it was a Thursday to a Sunday, just doing all these different. Every day you had a chart of what's going on, A, B, and C, what they call it. So you had your morning, afternoon, and dinner. And we went to one of those. I mean, we've done going to the championship games. We've done hosting ones at our school.
Gotcha.
I mean, we're all over the map trying to help us and get better. And even college coaches, if coaches can go to any university and you can go through a walkthrough, go to a practice. Toledo has an open invite. Bowling Green has an open invite. You can show up, just say you're a coach with whatever high school. Mm-hmm. You can go in there, start watching their practice, take notes, whatever you want to do.
Gotcha. Awesome. And I don't know, John, have you done? I was gonna say, number one, have you been to any coaching clinics, or have you just kind of like yourself and or the coaches who you're with have helped you get better, or how have you bettered it?
Obviously, I'm always learning from those guys with the more experience. So like during the season, obviously you observe as much as you can, and you try to put together like what you would do with this or drills and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. As far as coaching clinics go, I haven't been to one. I would have liked to go to one last year, but with the coaching transition, it just didn't work out. But this coming February, they're sending a lot of the coaches to Columbus for a clinic, and I'm included in that. So I'm lucky enough to be included in that. But yeah,
that's awesome. I was gonna say that's exciting. Let's go to kind of teetering back and forth. What do you think is your biggest mistake you've made as a coach, or any regrets you have about maybe decisions you made or stuff just something that you did that you were like, well, I wish either I could redo that, undo it, something to that extent. Because I know, obviously, especially, it doesn't even have to be play calling, obviously, practice and whatnot. Obviously, you can look back on games and been like, oh, I should have probably either made a change at that personnel or different play call. Anything come to mind right away for either one of you?
There's just certain areas where I wish I would have been harder on some guys during the week so that they perform better in the game. Beyond that, with my limited experience, it's hard to say for sure. But
gotcha.
There's definitely a couple instances this past season where stuff could have been prevented during the game.
If you would have pushed them a little harder in practice, or just maybe got them to understand something a little more. Yeah. Josh, you got anything for it?
I'd say I would agree with him. It's film study.
Just film study,
Film study. I mean, you think you watch enough, and then you go back, and Huddle does a great job of breaking stuff down.
Yeah.
and like you try to overanalyze and think of all this stuff, but I mean, I'm spending in between 4 and 5 hours a week watching film. That's just in between the week, not breaking it down on Saturday mornings.
Yeah,
As we get together as a staff and break it down, and you're just film study. I don't think kids quite understand it.
Oh,
as
yeah.
much as coaches are still trying to understand how much film you need to watch. Like, it's a crazy amount. They want to see their highlights and stats and put them all out there and get their little films together on Huddle, which Huddle does a great job of that.
Mm-hmm.
You can star your little play and make it great, but I mean, I want kids to actually go in there and watch it as much as we do, because there's stuff we miss, and then kids can point it out to us.
Yeah.
Not everyone's perfect.
Oh yeah, I came in. I was gonna say I graduated 2013. I know that was right like around the time like Huddle was. I know I used it a few times, but I can tell you back then I could watch a play 10 times and tell you nothing that I learned from it. And so yeah, I can definitely say like being in that position when you're 15, 16, 17, 18 years old and you're watching that film and either you're definitely not as football savvy as you think you are. You're just, because a lot of kids just have that mindset, especially I did. I'm like, I'm just going to go out there and tackle the guy with the ball and then we're going to win games. And there's some guys who are athletically gifted enough that they can do that, or give me the ball, I'm going to run for the end zone. Like, and they don't think film is necessary, but film definitely is again, not a coach, but I understand that film is super important. And if you can watch film and understand what a team is doing, you can easily be able to possibly predict, or at least know their motions and everything like that, that you can have a better idea of it.
It breaks it down to yardage and percentage of run, pass, compared to yardage on the field and all this stuff. I mean, Huddle's great and all that. I mean, back when I first was playing, we had VHSs and DVDs. We didn't get this little Huddle. Now you have it on your phone. You can click an app, start watching.
Yeah, that's crazy, and how easy it is that you can do that you can
I
study.
showed my age. Yes, a VHS. Just hop in there and watch our film.
Hey,
and then we had to trade DVDs. Our coaches would meet up at a Bob Evans or a Denny's, and they just swap them.
That's awesome. I was gonna say, it's crazy how far we've come, and and it just makes more expectations on the kids these days to be more. Have a higher football IQ and everything like that, because again, like you said, we have this now technology where you can just go on an app and watch film and it breaks it down statistically so that you especially like younger high school kids can understand what to do and what the other teams are doing.
You guys have Huddle Sideline?
No, we got rid of it.
You got rid of it?
Yeah.
So you don't have like...
Oh, we have Echo is what we use.
Oh, okay.
So it's the same thing, but we couldn't. Our Huddle Sideline, we had a horrible connection. Could never get it to work. We should throw this Echo thing, and now it works like a beaut.
I mean, your press box is probably pretty far away from your sideline.
Yeah, well,
maybe, is that why?
Well, I think it's because of the connection originally, but now since we got rid of the Huddle Sideline thing and we did this Echo thing, it works great. Now it syncs in our end zone cam to all of it.
Do you guys have a problem with connecting with your headsets at all from that far away?
Mm-mm. Was yours on the opposite sideline doing it?
Yeah, it sucks. I hate your field. I mean, it's nice now that you put the turf in. It's the best field in the league.
It's down nice. In the bowl.
The field itself is nice now that you put the turf in. It used to be the worst freaking field to ever play on.
It had a slope towards the creek. All
used
the
to
water
call it
runs that way.
the toilet bowl. It was so bad.
You had to run sweeps that way.
Every time it rained, there was puddles fucking a foot deep.
Yep. I know.
Sliding around in the mud.
We had so much rain the one time we had both people on the same sidelines because the home side flooded.
It's terrible.
That's awesome.
So you have like access to like replay.
Yeah, within 7 seconds of the play happening, it's on our iPad. We can watch it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we have Huddle Sideline.
That's
works. Obviously, you know how that works.
Right. You have an iPad on the side. You can go click play 46. I'm looking at it, and it already ODKs us.
Yeah. It's freaking nice.
Well, I was gonna say I want to bring in. So we have a special person sitting in on the episode today. Well, other than Carrie and Jenna here, we have my good friend Brennan Mormon here, who just got done coaching his first year of it was varsity. It was varsity.
It was. Yeah. It was high school football down in Florida.
Down in Florida, and then he's now going to go into his first year of coaching. It's freshman.
It's JV. It's gonna
JV,
be.
okay.
I'm gonna be the head JV baseball coach.
I was gonna say,
Awesome.
That's
do you?
exciting.
I was gonna say, do you have any questions for the guys up here? Obviously, John's obviously has been only coaching a couple years, but he still's got experience, and so does Josh. Do you got any questions for them that maybe, or anything you want to ask them since you're here?
So for my head JV baseball coaching job, I do not have an assistant coming in. So I will be the only one in charge. So I just wanted kind of an input because the head varsity coach gave me the option of should I take an assistant in or should I just try to get a volunteer or do I try doing it myself and see what happens?
If I were you, I'd get an assistant. Don't rely on someone's parent because then they're going to expect playing time for their kid.
Okay.
Hey, I was gonna say, you got anything else?
What kind of attitudes do you guys experience from your kids? Because, hear me out. The area that I'm at, where it's not like a.
I was
don't
gonna
wanna
say,
say
you want to say the area in Florida you're from, or are you okay? That's fine. I just thought I'd ask.
It's just kind of, it's like a low economic status town. So the home lives of most of the kids aren't very well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of wondering if how do you guys implement that in your coaching of trying to understand those kids and the possible home lives they're in?
Well, as far as your approach goes with them, I wouldn't take an authoritative approach to coaching them. A lot of kids, in my experience, no matter the socioeconomic status of them, they don't respond well to that. Mm-hmm. You know, some kids might respond better to it. Some kids might need it. Mm-hmm. So you just kind of have to gauge your audience, who you're dealing with, and when. But generally speaking, they don't respond very well to that authoritative approach.
Okay.
So
I was gonna say, and with coaching JV baseball, I did it for 9 years, dude. You're gonna see errors. There's gonna be strikeouts. You're gonna be mad at some wins, or mad at some losses, good with some wins. The best thing about baseball is you're gonna play up to 5 games a week, so you'll be able to forget about 3 of those losses and have 2 wins and be happy. Because I'm telling you right now, errors are gonna happen. It's gonna tick you off because you know you'd make the play. You're gonna see one sail from third base, sail over that first man's face. I don't know how big your boundaries are for your outside the foul lines, and someone's going to turn a routine ground out into a triple, and you're going to be pissed in the coach's dugout. It's like, why did that just happen? And that's going to turn into a 6-run, 7-run, 10-run inning. You're just, what is going on right now? The train's going to go off the rail in 1 inning, and it's just going to happen. Still be positive with those kids. Let them know, hey, it's just 1 inning. We can rebound. Let's try and win this next inning. Always take it at 1 inning at a time in baseball. Don't try and win the game right from the rip. Let's win 1 inning at a time and see where we're at the end.
All right.
Just focus on the positives and be yourself.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you good on questions? Or
Yeah.
okay.
So the non-authoritative approach, I took that when I was doing football, because I did understand those students because I'm also teaching at this school as well. So I see these students. I see them as players. I also see them as students. Yep. So I understand what's kind of going on. Yep. So I do build that relationship with those players. It's kind of just like, I don't build the authoritative sort of way. It's kind of like I almost treat them kind of like a younger sibling. Try to build that respect with them, but understand hey, if it's go time, it's go time. It's time to play.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I was gonna say,
tell them you only need 2 hours of their attention every day. That's all I need. The other school needs your 6 hours. I need your 2 hours. That's all I need. I need the 2 best hours of here. I care if your girlfriend broke up with you, whatever's going on. I just need 2 hours you focus on baseball to get yourself better so we have a chance to win tomorrow or make ourselves better for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, you got any more questions? Okay, cool.
No.
I know you guys have already parted some wisdom. Do you got any more wisdom you can give to Brennan moving forward? I feel like you've kind of given a decent amount. I was going to say if there's anything else you got for him.
Don't listen to those parents in the stands. Do what you want to do. If it's the right move in your mind, stick with it and do it. Don't listen. Baseball is the toughest thing because you're going to go make a pitching change, and that guy gives up 2 runs, and parents are going to be harping you. Why'd they do that? He was only, and I know in baseball you got to keep pitch counter for high school, so you have to keep track of pitches and stuff. So you only do so much a week, at least in Ohio. I don't know, Florida the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't listen to those parents griping in the stands, saying, "Oh, you shouldn't have took my kid out," and then the next guy you put in gives up 2 runs. Stick with what your gut says and do what you think is the right thing.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered it. Just be yourself, you know.
Okay.
That's what it boils down to, I
That's
think.
well. I think that's a pretty good episode that we got wrapped up here. Again, thank you guys for coming on and giving your expertise in coaching and everything like that. Brennan, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you learned something and or got something that you can take back to Florida with you and hopefully coach kids up and
Of course.
hopefully have a winning baseball season. So good luck with that.
Thank you, sir.
And, well, we're going to end the episode like we end every episode on this podcast. We are going to pull a question from the question jar. Who wants to do it?
Anyone, he can have it.
Since you're right next to me, here you go. Here you go. So, any name on that? Or is it... It should just be on the front with the question. If there's not, then... Okay, cool.
Coca-Cola versus Pepsi. Who is better and why?
Oh,
What if I
boy.
tell you that I haven't drank pop in 17 years?
Well, you can still have an opinion on this, whether it be commercial wise
We
or
used to drink what is that? Fucking Big K? Oops.
Big
dropped
K?
that one. First one to drop a F-bomb, my
it's
bad.
fine. It's fine.
Big K.
Big K.
We used to drink the Kroger band.
Coke.
We drank.
Back when you
Okay.
drank pop, did they mix the syrup in as they
Oh,
poured in?
Ladies on the VHS. Here we go back to this. Tell me, I'm a beer, water, and tea guy. I did
Beer,
not
water.
drink anything else.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
Gatorade, sorry.
that's fair.
Those are the
That,
4 things I drink. I don't touch pop.
I wish I had your strength. John, do you have a opinion?
I think there's a time and place for each one. Overall, though, if I had to say one, I would say Coke, just because it's, I don't know, it's just objectively better in my opinion. But
Yeah.
like I said, I will drink Pepsi in certain times and places, but
Yeah.
overall, it's Coke.
I'm Brennan.
See, Mr. Bolus, I'm going to have to disagree with you.
All right.
I'm pretty sure Pepsi has the better flavor. It's got more taste to it.
Are you saying
And,
like?
hey, I'm just
saying
throwing it out there.
original
Pepsi
flavor.
had cherry first.
What?
I mean, that's
Pepsi had
that's
cherry
cool.
flavor first.
That's
Oh,
cool.
boy.
But I will agree, there is a time and a place because
I'm saying-
sometimes a nice crisp Coke tastes good on a hot summer day.
I'm saying original flavors.
Yeah.
Coke is better.
I know I'm gonna
Not the
upset
extra flavors, you know.
with my choice. I'm gonna upset a big Pepsi, Frank Abbey, but I have to go with Coke. That's just me, because I think Coke tastes better, but at the same time, it's Coke and Pepsi. You can have your preference. If I'm gonna lean one way, I'm gonna lean towards Coke.
So is it pop or soda?
Oh
I'm there for
no.
you. 'Cause in
Soda.
the South, it's different.
It's soda. I said soda when I lived up here, and then when I moved down, it didn't really change for me. I did say pop once, and I had people I had people get upset. They're like, "What is this pop you speak of?"
Well, I guess here on set we got 2 for Coke, 1 for Pepsi, so and then 1 for tea, beer, water, and Gatorade.
Yep.
Yep,
Something I don't drink
that's
pop,
fair.
it's-
That is absolute. Well, doesn't Pepsi own Gatorade?
No, Coca-Cola doesn't.
Oh, Coca. Okay, we're just gonna call that Coca-Cola, and it's gonna be 3-1. So
Carrie, look it up.
we
real
could be
quick.
wrong, but we'll have to stat check that. But again, thank you very much, John Bolus, coaching at Eastwood High School football and track and
That's
Year
not good.
3. Year 3
oh,
coming
jeez.
up.
Year three for John Bolus. Since he's been there, they've had a winning record every year he's been there, and then we have. John, then we
Same
have,
You said. Just kidding.
and then
Yeah,
Josh.
you're right.
No, I'm not-
Josh
well, I'm
is
not
3
kidding,
and 4.
but-
3 out of 4 years, yeah.
So what year are you going into in Rossford?
This will be year 8 at Rossford.
Year 8. Well, if anyone wants to go watch either one of these guys coach their teams up in the fall, Rossford, Eastwood, check them out. Thank you guys for coming.
This year we're opening up against Kenton instead
Kenton?
of Ottawa Glandorf.
Oh,
Yep, it'll be a
big
good
game.
game.
It'll be a good game.
Yeah.
Do you know who you're opening up?
Yep, Northwood.
Northwood? Oh boy.
Northwood. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Powerhouse. That is Northwood.
Spooky schedule.
Well,
good.
again, if y'all want to go see these guys coach, Rossford, Eastwood, Northwest Ohio area, come check them out. Again, thank you very much, guys, for being on here, taking time out of your day to come here and talk to myself about this, about coaching, because I have no idea what coaching is. So, again, thank you very much. And that's another episode. That's a wrap. See y'all in the next episode.